Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Slamhub Wrestling. Myself Suprit, and this is the AEW Dynamite review for September 23rd, 2020. And I'm joined by Abby Maniac, aka Abhishekh Aneja. What's up, Abby?
I'm absolutely fine, Suprit. How about you?
I'm doing good as well.
So we had, you can say, rescheduled main event this week regarding the champion John Moxley because with regards to Lance Archer, he got diagnosed with the virus. So we got I guess I was very excited to see the main event of Eddie Kingston challenging for the AEW World Championship. So that was my, you can say, catalyst for looking forward to this match or this show for that matter.
I think they said that he only came in contact with someone who had the virus.
Yes, yes. And then afterwards, he also tweeted regarding that yes, he has been diagnosed with the virus. He has tweeted that afterwards.
So, does that mean that his championship match is in. Uh, what is
Jeopardy, I guess yes. I guess yes, probably.
But they were still promoting the championship match.
So I guess what I saw, there were three competitors who are in gun for the championship. That was the graphic which I saw on the show. Uh, then now what is going to happen with regards to that match? We have to see
I think they are
that.
still I think they are still promoting it, and I believe that Lance Archer is just showing the symptoms, just like Moxley was. Moxley was
Mm-hmm.
showing the symptoms 2 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm. All right. So
Uh,
he would probably heal by then. That is.
he'll. I think he will get the green signal to at least compete.
Mm-hmm. That is great then.
What did you think about the entire show?
Entire show, I guess it was it was good. Yes, it was not great. The only two things I guess which were you can say out, which were standing. They were with regards to a backstage segment which had MJF and Jericho. That was very, you can say, giggling and to the amusement of myself. And the main event, which had Eddie Kingston versus John Moxley, that was great. And I was also looking forward to that match. And uh, we saw the return of the Spanish god Sammy Guevara, as you were saying that Jake Hager is not just gelling with Jericho, so you got to have the Spanish god back, and we had him on the show. So it was nice to see that, and also the announcement of FTR's uh, 20-minute rush of greatness also. It builds intrigue that they would be competing next week, so that also gives a little bit of, you can say, uh, a rush to quote the animal to see the show next week. The only things standing out were MJF, Jericho, and Eddie Kingston, John Moxley, and I guess the debut of Miro. You can say that he was looking great.
I thought this week's Dynamite was decent at best.
Hmm.
And I would have appreciated if they cut down at least one segment or match from the show, and you could
Mhm.
have used that time and added it to the main event match.
I I would agree with that because I wanted more. And probably it was for the better, you can say, because if in the future we would see that match, Eddie Kingston versus John Moxley, it should have a backstory and weeks of building up with promos. It would be better to have then a 20-minute or 30-minute match rather than you can say 12-hour build up or a 10-hour build up to that match with only a promo in the first part of the show. So it's all right. They just gave, you can say, a teaser of what they can do if they have the proper build up and everything invested in their feud. So, and with the what we saw at the end, they could possibly have another match. We shall see.
No, what I meant was you could have cut off those backstage segments, or at least cut off one match from this card.
I can take that, no doubt. But the fact is, when you give a rather short match or a short glimpse of what they can do, that is also fine. That they can deliver or they can give a great match in the future. So you just gave the fans and the officials, of course, backstage, a little glimpse of what magic they can do if they are given the proper opportunity, promo time, the proper build up of the story and everything. So whatever they did, with the 12-hour announcement and promo in the first half of the show, it is fine. So I have no problem with that. Yes, of course, with the fans, you want a great match. You wanted a rather longer match, not a 10-minute match, of course, with regards to these incredible talents, which they are, of course, but you can say that it was just a teaser of what they can do.
So let's get into this entire show.
Yes, of course.
So we had the in-ring debut of Miro. We had Thunder Rosa and Hikaru Shida versus Ivelisse and Diamante. Brodie defended his TNT championship against Orange Cassidy, and the main event was for the AEW World Championship, John Moxley versus Eddie Kingston, and so much more. But before that, if you are new to this channel, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell for all notifications. We in Slamhub Wrestling cover all related stuff, including reviews for Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW Dynamite, and New Japan as well. So this week's Dynamite kicks off with a tag team match. We had Kip Sabian and Miro versus Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela. So this went about 11 minutes. Sabian and Sonny started the match. JR is still confused whether to call Sonny a he or a she. So God bless him. Um, so back to this match. Sonny was in control. Sabian makes a desperate tag to Miro only to tag back in. Janela and Sonny have Sabian in their corner. Bunch of double team moves on Sabian. Tag was made to Miro. He ran wild on both Sonny and Janela. Tag made to Sabian as their team were in control. At one point, Janela tried to knock Miro off the apron. Miro got mad and went after Janela but gets tossed outside. And it also looked like Miro tweaked his ankle while landing on the floor. So we see a botched double team attempt from Miro and Sabian. Same thing happened later on as well. Finish saw Miro hitting the Machka kick on Sonny and also locking in the accolade for the submission win. And that was it. I think this was a very sloppy tag team match. Uh, it was like what was I saying? Yeah, I know that Janela and Sunny are supposed to be a legit tag team here, but they could have cut off at least 6 minutes from this match and instead shown Miro as a dominant force. And
I
what
agree.
did you think about this match?
I agree with your point that Miro should have looked as an insane force. I agree. And they could have shortened the match. But the fact is that maybe it is the thing that they have to make everyone look legit. But the fact is, they are, you can say, giving away the fact that what was the story of the match, or what was the focus of the match. The focus of the match was showcasing Miro and his debut, not the fact that Sunny Kiss and Joey Janela are a great tag team or a legit tag team, or even uh, Sabian for that matter. No, it was the showcase of Miro, who I suppose now is bringing in whatever ratings or numbers for them and uh, whatever. But the fact is, it was the focus, but they missed the mark with him. And they have done it in the past with many of the other competitors, because maybe AEW is of the opinion that they are different, so they will do everything different. Because if there is a match where a monster heel or a monster something, or a person is making his debut, he should not look like a force that just dominates everybody. Yes, there were, you can say, moments when Miro looked like that, a monster uh, heel, and just dominating talent and ragdolling his opponents here and there. But the fact is, yeah, as you said, the match was long enough to just hold him down, hold his intensity down, and make him look like any other talent in the roster, not stand out like a legit force. And now let's just come back to the match. There were a few points, and I'm also gonna run a few points with regards to the match. Miro looked in insane shape when he made his entrance. That is great for a talent to make an instant mark. And Janela, in his pre-match promo, which of course aired in a box, he got a shot in his at his real life relationship with Penelope Ford, which he had, and now Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford are engaged. And also he got a shot in at Jim Cornette, because there is a rumor around of him and Sunny Kiss naming their tag team duo as the New Midnight Express, and Cornette being pissed, even going as far as to filing a lawsuit preventing it from happening in the 3D. That happened. And he also used the word express in his pre-match promo. So there is that whatever the fuck Janela does, he does in his sporadic appearances on Dynamite. And one more point, what happened at the 6 minute 30 seconds mark of the show, I saw Joey Janela tagging Sunny Kiss. And Sunny Kiss, he was so, you can say overwhelmed or very excited that he already entered in the ring prematurely. What the fuck, basically. And then Joey Janela tagged him when Sunny Case is already in the ring, and now they are Irish whipping the opponent. And then the attention magnet referee, Aubrey Edwards, lets it go on. Lets it go on. Like, is this play school? Are they play wrestling? Maybe they are. Maybe they are. This is play wrestling, of course. But the fact is, the rules, what the fuck is happening? What the fuck is happening basically? Is this a showcase for Miro? So the rules are out of the box. The focus is only on Miro. So whatever the fuck is happening here and there, so you just go about it. That nothing is happening. Or is this a pro wrestling show in front of a worldwide audience? Like, what the fuck is happening? The basics of professional wrestlings are not being done right by two indie wrestlers, two backyard fucking wrestlers. I mean, what the fuck, basically. And with regards to Miro, as you pointed out, there were botches here and there, but Miro worked great as a tag team with Kip Sabian, as we saw multiple tag team maneuvers happening in the match. Great tag team work. And Joey and Sunny Case fought valiantly, but they came up short. I guess it was a good showcase for Miro as he ragdolled the competition for short moments. At the end, Miro got the victory, and he should, for his team via the submission. Game over.
So we quickly get into Eddie Kingston rushing to the ring. So he demands the hard camera to focus on him. He informs us that he'll be challenging John Moxley for the AEW World Championship. He said he was never eliminated from the Battle Royal, and that's why he deserves this title shot. He then talks about John Moxley said both he and him were cut from the same cloth, but he went to the land of sports entertainment and sold his soul to the devil, while he stayed with the fighters and the outlaws. So he calls out Moxley. Moxley shows up, and we get a face to face as the officials came out to pull them apart. This was a solid promo by Kingston. They did a great job on explaining on why Kingston is getting a title shot. What did you think about this?
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. It was a solid promo, and the fact that Eddie Kingston is great on the mic, so they did give him the opportunity to sell his match, which is later on the show. That was a great decision, and yes, the points being made wasn't eliminated in the battle royal. He has been in the industry for 16 years. It's more than enough. And the fact that the shots at Moxley being in WWE, it's great. It's great. I have no cons with the promo and the intensity and how you get the fans interested to be at the end of the show. that is also great. So you got to have that, and it's great. So people, if they were listening to that promo and they got invested in his voice and what he said, they would be tuning in and they would stay till the end of the show. So it's great.
So we get into Hangman Page versus Evil Uno. Kenny Omega was back on commentary. It was informed to us that Omega once again denied to tag with Page. Therefore, we are getting this singles match. So lockup exchanges early on. Uno was little over smart and gets kicked in the face. Page was in full control. He hits a bridging pump handle suplex for a 2 count. Uh, Page was about to kick Uno in the guts, but Uno catches it and sends his leg towards referee Rick Knox. As he catches it, this allowed Uno to hit a neck breaker. Uno was now in control. At one point, Uno ordered the Dark Order members to go to the back. So we get a little back and forth from Page and Uno. Uno with a kick followed by the Swanton for a 2 count. Page tried to send Uno's leg into the referee, but the referee didn't catch it this time. So at the end, it was Page hitting the buckshot lariat, and that was it. What did you think about this?
Uh, I thought it was a great competitive bout between both the competitors. It was great, or I should say, it was good. It was good, and Kenny Omega was on commentary. He reiterated the fact that he wants to be a singles wrestler now. He isn't a tag team wrestler anymore. Initially, it was booked as Stu Grayson and Evil Uno versus Omega and Hangman at Page, and he denied the request. And we also got to know that Anna Jay defeated Brandy Rhodes the previous night on Late Night Dynamite via submission. So that is a great, you can say, win for the Dark Order. And Evil Uno, as you pointed out at one point of the match, sent his comrades to the back. But Colt Cabana showed a bit of resistance, but afterwards he, you can say, copulated to his orders, and Hangman got the victory in this competitive bout via pinfall by the buckshot lariat, and this is another win for Hangman in 2 consecutive weeks. So we shall have to see that where is it going. There will be some sort of confrontation with Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega. So we have to see what happens and how will Kenny Omega's singles run gets you can say manifested. We are just seeing the slow burn to that.
So regarding this Hangman Omega storyline, I got a theory on it. Want to hear?
Yes, of course.
So this storyline has been something different from the other stuff we have seen recently in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I think this storyline is done to target the younger audience, AEW's key audience.
Mm-hmm.
Because think about it, the younger audience can emotionally invest themselves in stuff like this.
Mm.
And another example is that this same audience loved the whole Omega and Ibushi angle in New Japan. And we are seeing the exact same thing happen now in AEW.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. So, this is now basically there are there is one side who wants them back together, and there is one side who wants that it is better that they are going for a singles split,
Hmm.
the split run. Hmm. It's great. The fact is, if you get the fans interested and invested in your storyline and get them to watch every week, that's done. That is great. If you are doing that and if you are able to do that, and that's the best thing. And they are able to do that, and I agree wholeheartedly with the fact that whatever they are doing, it is a slow burn, but it is working. It is working because the fact is long term storytelling is not uh, seen very much in this day and age, because the fact is, with regards to the WWE revenue model, there is a pay-per-view every other month, maybe even two times a month. So it is difficult to book long-term storylines, and even you see very few of them. And even the fact that audience or people have low attention spans, so that also plays a factor in that. So if they are giving this the whole time and a slow burn to a payoff, so that is great, and getting the fans invested, it's great. Do that.
So backstage, we see Tony Schiavone. He was seen knocking the door of the Young Bucks EVP room. Matt Jackson jump scares Schiavone. Matt then starts explaining their recent actions and says how they have lost title shots and relationships. Shivani brings up FTR's name several times. Matt gets annoyed, asks for Shivani's phone, and he completely destroys it. Matt then hands Shivani some money and told him to buy a new phone, and that was it. Anything you want to say regarding your favorite tag team?
My favorite acting. Uh, whatever they are trying to be the bad guy, and now they probably are going for whatever edgy character, whatever they did in Japan with the Bullet Club, and they're trying to get the magic back, basically. Whatever limited stuff they can do with regards to their promos, their acting, they are able to do, and they are doing it well or okay. All right. So whatever it is, and we are also seeing it on Being the Elite. They are not now very jolly or even interacting with the fans uh, on their vlogs. Oh, okay. We get that. We get that. Fucking bitches. Okay.
So, first championship match of the night, we have the TNT championship match. Brodie Lee, or I should say, Mr. Brodie Lee versus Orange
Yes.
Cassidy. So, Cassidy starts annoying the Dark Order members, throws his shirt at Silver. He then puts his glasses on NJ. So, match begins. Cassidy slowly puts on his elbow pad, hands in his pocket. We see a series of shadow kicks to Lee. Lee drops him with a big forearm. Cassidy did get some offense while the hands were still in the pockets. Lee goes outside to regroup. Cassidy looked for a tope but gets caught by the Dark Order members. Lee hits a tope on his own, taking out the entire pile. From there, it was mostly Lee dominating. We see some outside interference from the Dark Order members and also see Brodie Lee bossing around John Silver. Lee was trying for the discus lariat, but every time he tried it, Cassidy just fell down. All of a sudden, Cassidy makes a sudden comeback. He gets some offense and also scored several near falls. So final part of the match saw Cassidy going for the orange punch. Lee catches him and hits a power bomb, and he finally hits the discus lariat, and that was it. It was a very good match, a great mix of comedy plus the actual wrestling. What did you think about this match?
Uh, yes, I agree with that. Uh, there is something which would have irked many. So how will we maybe we can answer that. We can answer that now. It has just hit. It has just hit me. The fact that some people would have said that Brodie Lee defeated Cody in just dominant fashion and just like that, and this match, Brodie Lee versus Orange Cassidy, went for too long, even with his comrades at bay. So why did it happen? So this just screams that Cody is beneath Orange Cassidy with regards to competition or with regards to wrestling. But the fact is, Cody's story with Brodie Lee was that he was exhausted, he was beat up, and he was just, you can say, just thrown out of his comfort zone because he defended his title every other week and he competed every week. There were even 1 or 2 weeks when he competed in tag team action with Matt Cardona as his tag team partner. But the fact is, he competed with independent wrestlers every week, defending his championship. And he was beat up, he was exhausted, and then came a force like Brodie Lee to get his championship. And he just, you can say, he, he just fell down. He just broke down into a million pieces. That is what happened with his match. And here, Orange Cassidy is carrying the momentum of or Chris Jericho's feud, and now he is more of you can say he knows how to balance his comedy and he knows how to channel his serious, you can say, offense when needed, and he is now a main event player. So that is the reason why Orange Cassidy was able to withstand and persevere in the whole match and able to withstand the shenanigans of the Dark Order and even able to withstand the offense of Mr. Brodie Lee. And I'm sorry, Mr. Brodie Lee, if I have in the past called you Brodie Lee in this segment. I'm very sorry. It is Mr. Brodie Lee every other time, even if I say Brodie Lee. I'm very sorry. And the fact is, this match had Dark Order helping as basically lumberjacks assaulting Orange Cassidy, whilst we had Mr. Brodie Lee distracting the referee in the ring. Even commentators pointed out that the Dark Order should be uh, evicted out of the ringside arena, but it didn't happen. The match at one point got very competitive, back and forth. We saw a comeback, as you said. The resilience of Cassidy was one of the stories here. His heart, his determination, despite the interference at ringside from the Dark Order, but at the end, Mr. Brodie Lee won with the discus lariat with the interference from John Silver. He got the victory.
So post match, Lee celebrating, and all of a sudden the lights go out. We hear the familiar God intro, and out comes Cody with his black hair. He hits the ring. He attacks John Silver and goes after five. Cody drags five in the corner and swings his leg into the post, locks in the figure four, and Brodie was nowhere to be seen.
The fact, yes, Cody being back with his, I guess it is his natural uh, black hair, brunette, whatever. It is pointing to a heel character. He had that in his independent career, and even when he was in WWE, most of the time he had that. When he had that look, he was a bad guy. So basically, he is going to turn very, very soon. But how is it going to happen and in what fashion? We have to see. Either he is going to low blow and then hit the crossroads on someone and then jack off on the audience. That probably isn't going to happen. But the fact is, how is it going to come about? We have to see. So, yes, I'm glad he's back. Cody Rhodes is back. He is one of the key players who is great on the mic, get the fans invested, and also now he has to take back, of course, the TNT championship, which he lost because of the physical exhaustion, being the story that he was defending the championship every week, and now he would be having the chance. And what we gathered after the, you can say, backstage interview of Mr. Brodie Lee, what I uh, surmised was that it was a challenge which is to be answered next week by Cody, and it would be for a dog collar match. And it was a great promo by Mr. Brodie Lee, no doubt. He took shots at Brandy Rhodes' photos on Instagram, and he called it thirst traps. All right. And Cody's responses to them on Twitter and Instagram, of course. And he also mentioned Brandy's loss the previous night to Anna J. Anna J. Not any other loss, man. Get your head out of the gutter.
Oh boy.
And that was basically the backstage interview of, or you can say promo of Mr. Brodie Lee. He is challenging Cody to answer next week, and it is probably for a dog collar match for the TNT championship, of course.
Maybe at the anniversary show.
Probably. And it might as well would be, and it would be fitting. The TNT championship being defended on the anniversary show. Yes, it's fitting.
Remember when I said they should have cut off at least one or two segments?
All right, it's
Yeah,
the
so
time.
no, so this upcoming segment I believe should have been cut off. So we had Matt Hardy and Private Party out for a promo segment. So
Hmm.
Hardy thanks everyone for his birthday wishes. He then talks about the attack on him last week. He said Chris Jericho and Inner Circle are his prime suspects. He then talks about Private Party and how they nearly beat Hager and Jericho last week, but lost due to the usage of Jericho's baseball bat. Hardy calls Jericho a asshole. So Jericho and the Inner Circle come out. Jericho wishes Hardy a happy birthday, only to say no one gives a shit about your birthday. Jericho then blames Hardy for taking out Sammy Guevara, and he said nobody knows when he will be back in AEW. He said he was just lying. Guevara comes out, they do their signature hug. Jericho said he was not the one behind the attack, and if he had to attack Hardy, then he would have done it face to face. Um, So he threatened Hardy to attack him right now. Hardy said he isn't cleared, but he still is ready for a fight. Pride Party then start talking on behalf of Hardy. First, it was Quen who sends a warning to Jericho. Cassidy then challenges Jericho to a singles match next week and said he is gonna make Jericho his Le Champion bitch. So we are getting Isaiah Cassidy and Chris Jericho next week.
Hmm. Uh, I I can agree with your statement that this segment should have been scrapped and it didn't need what happened. But there would be the fact that Matt Hardy and Chris Jericho being seen in the ring was a thing for this week, as they were seen only in a few minutes last week in a backstage segment. So maybe this week they wanted them to have screen time to get the fans, you can say, hooked or watch the show basically. And uh, that could be the thing. And basically, they are main event stars. You are giving them so much money, so why don't you use them for a good amount of time to at least use that star power in that ring? Maybe for whatever angle or feud you are selling. So you are doing that. And yes, you did that for the return of Sammy Guevara. You did that to sell the fact that the next week's match, which is Isaiah Cassidy versus Chris Jericho, and you also said that the assailant or the guy who attacked Matt Hardy last week was is still probably unknown. If that's still a story which they would be considering answering in the near future, probably yes or probably not. We have to see. And with regards to uh, the promo of Isaiah Cassidy, yeah, it wasn't up to par, probably what we have heard from people, even from Thunder Rosa, who is from another promotion, NWA, and even Eddie Kingston, and even any other, even FTR, or even any other person who is great on the mic. It was not a decent promo to sell a feud against a legend like Chris Jericho. But the thing is, when you are having a match against Chris Jericho, you should have at least a promo. A singles match, you got to have at least a promo, because when Eddie Kingston had a promo for a match against John Moxley, you got to have an Isaiah Cassidy promo if he is having a match against the Le Champion Chris Jericho. You got to have that promo. Even if even if he is not good on the mic. You got to have that promo because to get the fans invested, to get the fans know that there is a match next week that you have to watch, which has Chris Jericho, which has another person who is a guy who is associated with Matt Hardy, who is a great competitor with aerial maneuvers, who is a great tag team uh, personality, whatever. But the fact is, if they don't cut promos or do character work, they are, in the eyes of the fans, just people. Just, you can say, if someone says that who is private party, they are just, pardon the phrase, but the fact is they are just two black guys doing flips.
Mhm.
There is nothing else, because you have not gotten fans invested in yourself or your character, or even if whatever you do or what your backstory is, what, from where you have come from, what you are trying to accomplish. If you do not work on the mic, fans will not get invested. Or your
Um,
character is, so you can say, different or eccentric, that gets the fan invested. For example, Orange Cassidy. Even Orange Cassidy got a few words in that debate segment with Eric Bischoff and Jericho. So if you are up against a legit main eventer, you got to have promo skills. If you got to be a superstar in this business, you got to have promo skills, you got to have mic skills, and this message is for the young bucks.
oh. Speaking about promos, so Tony Schiavone interviews FTR and Terry Blanchard. Blanchard was putting over FTR big time. He said they're going to be a little creative going forward. So traditionally the matches are 60-minute time limit. So they are going to do a 20-minute time limit on TV. And if their opponents don't beat them before the time limit, then FTR get the automatic win. FTR then talk about the number one ranked tag team best friends, calling them backyard comedic wrestlers. Best friends take offense to this and they challenge FTR to a match. It looked like we were about to have this match, but FTR backed out at the last minute. So instead, we see the best friends hug it out, and that was it. It looks like the best friends are the next challengers, it seems, for the titles.
Yes, absolutely. And they would be the next legit challengers. And now, after what happened at the parking lot brawl with LAX and best friends, they most certainly have earned that shot. Next week, FTR is going to defend their championships against
Wait,
SCU,
wait, 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 wait,
if
wait,
I'm
wait,
not
wait,
wrong.
wait. Are they defending the championship?
I guess yes, they
No,
said that
I think it's
because
a non-title
the
match.
the 20-minute rush with greatness is a non-title match.
I believe so.
Hmm. All right. Then it is because the fact is, if you are saying that 60-minute time rule for world title matches now being reduced after consultation with 20-minute rule,
That in that
so
case, then
that
it's
means that you are defending your championship.
and it makes sense. Now it makes sense. Yes, yes, yes.
So probably they are defending the tag team championship, it seems, next week against SCU. And after that, the legit challengers for the championship They are the best friends, Chuck Taylor, sorry, yes, and Trent. So they are possible. They are the next in line for a legit tag team championship shot.
And in
So,
that case, it is perfect for FTR because they are undefeated and there is some story with it, with this 20-minute time limit thing.
hmm, yes, they can go for a draw and they can go at the pay per view in a great match, and then best friends can lose in a competitive match. It can happen. And
Maybe
20-minute rule is good with regards to television. You can't have a 60 minute match. They can, but the fact is, you will take away TV time from many of the talented people of the roster and the most talented people of the women's division.
speaking about the women's division, we had nice transition there.
Wow.
Yeah, so we had Hikaru Shida and Thunder Rosa versus Ivelisse and Diamante. But before we go through this match, did you hear that last week's match between Ivelisse and Thunder Rosa? It turned into a shoot fight.
Uh, I I did. I did. I did certainly. It looked odd. I saw glimpses that it wasn't. Evilise wasn't selling uh, Rosa's moves, and the face expressions also gave it away. But it is what it is. The fact is, Thunder Rosa is from another promotion, and she is getting a win, or you can say, just red carpet welcome in another promotion, a top promotion. And whilst on the other side, it is a woman, that is Ivelisse, who has just won their women's tournament, who nobody gave a fuck about on YouTube. No, many people did who don't have lives. They did. So she is not getting the proper recognition, probably. Or if Thunder Rosa was not in the picture, she would be getting the shots at the championship probably at this time. So it is professional jealousy and whatever the fuck it is, and I would not sell for her, and why would I drop my stock, and why would I get squashed and stuff like that. And
That's a very that's
also one more thing, that she has been in the business for a longer period of time in comparison to Thunder Rosa, who has been in the business for just 5 years.
mm, I was saying that this is a very Shawn Michaels type story. So let's get into this tag team match. So this went 8 minutes. So this match started slow, but really picked up in the second half. And at one point, Rosa accidentally hit Shida. So at the end, it was Shida with the running knee to get the win, and that's probably it. So much for winning tag team women's tournament.
At one point, I was also there. It hit my brain as well that uh, they have Ivelisse and Diamante won their AW Women's Cup or medals, so that obviously that makes them the supreme team in AW. But obviously, they got to have Thunder Rosa and Shida if they are in the other team, two top champions of two promotions. They probably are gonna win anyway. And That that is just you can say a sad thing, because now the how will you prove the legitimacy of that tournament? What have they done basically? What have they done to prove their legitimacy or prove their supremacy? Uh, because here right now, the only legit competitor who is in line for the AEW Women's Championship or vice versa, the NWA Women's Championship, are Thunder Rosa and Hikaru Shida, respectively. I am not seeing anything special. I did not see anything special in this match, to be very honest. This was just another match on the card. We should have seen something, but we didn't.
I don't know,
Was
man.
there?
AEW desperately needs some legit women in that division.
People are saying that they have been hit because of this virus. That the Joshi wrestlers aren't able to travel here, so that is the reason. Probably it is, probably it isn't. The fact is that yes, they need to get something in this division, get some promos in. You are not even airing their promos, or get some story in, something that people get invested by.
Video
This
packages.
should, yes, promo packages. Get something to get the fans invested. Or the fact is that we only know right now two competitors who are able to get a great match, that is Hikaru Shida and Thunder Rosa, who we are seeing on AEW Dynamite every other week. Because first, when we saw Ivelisse and Diamante, we saw that they have potential, but the fact is that when this professional jealousy, personal jealousy, and whatever the fuck they have in their minds, that gets into their heads, then they will not be able to work any good. That does not work in their favor. They will get their chance, they will get their opportunity. Give them a story, give them something. Even give them a mic and air their grievances, that whatever the fuck they are having problems with Thunder Rosa, just say it. Or in a backstage recorded uh, video package, that they say that I have been here, I have been there. What the hell have you done? And you are getting a red carpet welcome. Whatever these things are, they will matter and they will get the fans invested. And then you can have even singles matches with people invested, not just like that.
Yeah, so Chris Jericho was being interviewed. He was commenting on his upcoming match with Isaiah Cassidy. He said Cassidy one day will be a big star, but not next week, as the only shot Cassidy will feel is from his right and left fist. So in comes MJF. He calls Cassidy a little runt for disrespecting Jericho. Jericho agrees with MJF. Both men start giving compliments to each other until they asked why they called each other a loser. MJF explains he was calling the limo drivers the losers because they could have accidentally crashed into each other last week. Last week, I think it was 2 weeks ago, whatever. So Jericho said he was calling Tony Schiavone a loser. So both men laughed it off, and that was it. Yet another tease for a future Jericho MJF program.
Yes, it was you can say amusing promo, and what two of the greats on the microphone. Yes, they can do that. They can sell that, or you can say a teaser for a future feud. That's great. It's great, and people are salivating to see, you can say, them one on one on different sides of the ring competing against one another. So that would be great, and we have to see how it comes about. We are seeing just, you can say, pieces to that puzzle, that how it is going to come about. So it is great. It was entertaining, of course, and that is what makes the show must see.
So we get into the main event. It was the AEW World Championship match, John Moxley versus Eddie Kingston. So they started with little grappling, but quickly went into strikes and also exchanging chops at one point. So fight goes to the outside. Kingston tosses the timekeeper's table over Moxley. Back in the ring, Moxley hits a pile driver for a 2 count. Kingston with a comeback, he hits a power bomb for a 2 count. So final parts of the match saw Kingston going for a back fist, but Moxley counters in and locks in a sleeper and quickly transitions into a headlock for the win, and that was it. A very decent match, I can say. Both men wrestled a very pure style match, which will make it more
Hmm.
entertaining for me. Um, what did you think about it?
Yes, I also enjoyed the match to a large extent. Fact is, I am a big fan of Eddie Kingston, and it is mostly because of his promos and because of his style of wrestling and his demeanor uh, at ringside, whatever he has done. I've followed him at NWA Power. I saw him in a tag team with Homicide. So I saw his stick. I saw his promos. I saw his promo, which had, I guess, Dragunov, in which he said that I am not a sports entertainer, I am a fighter. So I can see that this match didn't look like a dance sequence or play wrestling at all. It looked like a legit fight. They were brawling, they were fighting against one another. Chopping was just next level. It was just, let's say, stiff action. And Kingston has been 18 years in this business. If I had said 16 years, I'm very sorry. Initially, this match was booked as a six-man tag, which had Archers, Ricky Starks, and Cage against Moxley, Will Hobbs, and Darby Allin. This looked like an people said this looked like an all Japan bout, all Japan Pro Wrestling, and Kingston gave many subtle nods to many of the greats of all Japan Pro Wrestling, and it, as I said, it looked like a fight. It didn't look like a fucking dance sequence, basically. So it was enjoyable. They were wrestling. They, they, yes, it was a short match. I agree, it was decent. It was not. In my opinion, it was very good. But yes, it was not great because they are saving it for a future. You can say a future program, and say. And that said, Moxley won the match via the Bulldog choke, as Excalibur said, via submission. So the match was great with regards to whatever build it had, or maybe 12-hour or a 10-hour announcement and promo in the initial part of the show. It had everything which it had. It was It was very good.
So, post match, Lucha Bros come out to attack Moxley. Will Hobbs came out for the save, but he had a 3-on-1 disadvantage. Darby Allen is out to even the odds, but he gets blindsided by a spear from Ricky Starks. At the end, it was the heels standing tall over the baby faces, and that's how Dynamite went off the air.
Yes. It seemed that at this moment, uh, Archer and Jake Roberts are out of the picture, and probably Eddie Kingston and Lucha Bros are in as the replacement because the closing scenes gave that picture. So that's where probably things are going. Uh, if that's the case, that's great. I have no qualms with that. Archer can rest, he can heal, and then he can come back for the championship match against John Moxley. Whenever it's gonna happen, it's gonna be great. And with regards to Lance Archer might take the strap off of John Moxley. We don't know.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yes,
So, yeah.
absolutely.
So before we go, so where can these guys find you?
Uh, Guys, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Abimaniac, ABBYMANIAC, and I am working with an Indian independent wrestling promotion called Wrestle Square as a commentator and as a talent and authority figure. So you can subscribe to their YouTube channel, Wrestle Square, and you can also check out their official website www.wrestlesquare.com.
You can find Slamhub Wrestling on Twitter at SlamhubW, Instagram at Slamhub Wrestling. Our podcast and reviews are mainly audio based, and if you don't want your YouTube app running for that, then you can catch Slamhub Wrestling on Anchor and Spotify as well. So this was the AEW Dynamite review, and we'll see you guys next time.